Yep, I'm recording.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, we want credit.
Yep, you're all on it.
Good. Okay. All right.
So, so what I thought we'd do this week is just start off with just a discussion about the video from Melody on the diversity pairs, and then at the very end we can just finish up some of the discussion about the doohickey and make sure we finish that off.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what I was hoping we could do was first, if you guys wouldn't mind, Alex, Aaron, or James, if you wouldn't maybe, in your own words, kind of describe or explain what assimilation means on the first paradigm, and then Aaron, if you'd be able to talk about differentiation paradigm, and then Alex, if you would be able to talk about or explain a little bit about the integration paradigm.
Sure. We just got an email from Samantha. It looks like she might not be getting our Hangout links.
Is there any way you can forward it to her?
Yeah.
The link?
Yeah.
Gonna see if this will work for her. All right, I just sent it to her.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So, James, would you mind starting off?
Yeah. The first paradigm actually talked about trying to be colorblind, about everybody's the same. Everybody, you don't see color, you don't see any difference. Everybody treats everybody the same. It comes down to not taking into consideration the different things that different people, the different ways of thinking, the different traits, the different ideas that different people from different cultures and ethnic groups bring. It's basically about everybody being the same.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Thank you. And they in that paper said that didn't work too good. Okay, here comes Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
Hey,
Glad
Samantha.
you could make it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't get any link earlier. I wasn't sure what happened, so I'm like, I thought we were supposed to have a meeting at 8:30 Mountain Time.
Yeah, sorry, I
about
may have
that.
your email down wrong.
Oh, okay, no worries, because I was like, I'm not hearing anything.
We got to figure it out so we're good.
Paradigm.
Okay.
I'll explain a little bit about the differentiation.
Who is?
Aaron.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Differentiation. That's the one that's like we celebrate differences. I don't know how to put this into words. It just basically means like everybody's different, unique aspects are brought to the table, and it just creates like an open discussion type thing that makes everybody feel welcome. I guess it doesn't. What are the words I'm looking for? Doesn't like. Gosh. Yeah. Sorry. What does it say? Yeah. It doesn't, it makes it so that everything is, it kind of goes with like everything is the same. It just makes it so that there isn't, discrimination and everybody feels included. And it's a horrible, yeah, so.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Want me to go with the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. The integration paradigm. It's like little quote was, "We're all on the same team with our differences, not despite them." And uh, I guess the best way to describe it is, I guess, taking your differences and growing from them rather than letting it like diversify you or become different. There's a little example right here in the text that I'll just read. It describes it really well. A public law or a public interest law firm, all white staff clients are exclusively white, hires a female attorney of color who encourage it to put, oh my gosh, I am butchering this, to pursue litigation challenging English only policies. Since such cases didn't fall under traditional affirmative action work, the firm had ignored them. By taking them, it begins serving more women, immigrants, and enhances its quality of work. The attorney of color feels valued, and the firm attracts competent, diverse staff. So just showing how someone with a different background, different perspective, different race, gender can bring in new ideas, new angles that can be beneficial to everyone.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like everybody's different, but we welcome everybody's differences, and we build upon everybody's differences on everybody's strengths. And so
Yeah.
using everyone's strengths, which are all different, we become stronger as a unit, as a group.
I feel like that one most closely kind of goes along with why we do group work. Everyone has a different perspective, and it helps you to figure things out.
It's true. Yeah.
And it's much better to focus on each other's positives and to contribute those, than looking at the negatives.
Exactly.
Perfect. So a follow-up question to kind of those paradigms. Have you guys ever, or could you remember maybe pick out a time or a memory or experience, whether it was in a group or even at work, where you experienced any of these paradigms?
I certainly have at work. Just for me being a checker, my job is basically the same every day, and unfortunately it gets very tedious. But we do have quite a bit of diverse workers with their races or their belief systems and religions. So definitely being able to hear about some of their insights and the different ideals that they can bring either from their own culture or just from their religion, it does make a difference because you can use those beliefs and everything just to make your personal experience either at day or your policies a lot better. For instance, I had a lady, she didn't quite believe in a god or any kind of deity of any sort. She just believed in everyone doing the best they can. So instead of saying God bless you, she would always kind of say, may you be blessed today, which was kind of different, but it really worked for the fact that if you have people that are Muslim or they're Buddhist or Christian, it just kind of works. And she said it in a manner where it wouldn't offend anyone, where you have for today where if you say Merry Christmas, some people may get offended. So it's just those little things that kind of made a difference for me in the workplace.
Absolutely. For me, I grew up in California, and I grew up in a neighborhood where I actually was a minority, and so when I played football freshman year through my senior year, I remember one year specifically. I think it was my junior year. There was a total of 31 players, and I had 25, and we had two, and so it was an interesting dynamic. For me to be the differences that we all had a unique perspective on life, religion, politics, because we came from different backgrounds. But that gave me an opportunity I guess to best say, just become a little bit more well-rounded than if I had maybe been in a community or in a neighborhood that may have been just all white. It gave me opportunities to think at life in a little bit of a different way.
Okay, yeah. What were the other ethnic groups that you grew up with?
Had a lot of, we also had a lot of Asians, and Chinese. There was one year the second most diverse high school in the nation. And I want to say it was largest of the school, then African American, then white, then and just it was pretty interesting.
That is very different from the situation I grew up in.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
In Idaho.
Where in Idaho?
That the doc from Melody Hoffman. I want to ask you a question.
You're connected.
Why colorblind? Why would that be dangerous?
What's that? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Could you?
Yeah, your connection's not doing too well. Your connection's kind of cutting in and out.
Oh, so I must have poor internet connection. I apologize. Why is being color potentially be dangerous?
Be colorblind? Because it doesn't enable us to see the advantages of the different cultures that we integrate. I'm sorry? What's that? Oh.
I don't know why my connection is so bad.
Okay.
Why would being colorblind be dangerous?
Because it lumps us all into one group. It doesn't take into account the differences that we have, the strengths that we have of our different talents and the diversity of the group.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, pretending to be colorblind or whatever, like it takes out who we really are, you know? If you just see everyone as just one conglomerate race, then like you're taking out their history and their background and what makes them them and what gives them reasons to possibly think differently than you. And I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
I feel like unless you look at someone else's background and why they're different than you, then you'll never understand why someone might disagree with you. And it's hard to, I guess, I don't know. I just feel like we're not colorblind. We shouldn't act colorblind. Just, treat everyone the same, but realize we all come from different areas of the world.
And appreciate the different points of view that we all bring with us. And the differences of opinion. And
Yeah.
It was interesting in the reading. It said that you put a diverse group together like that in a group to work, and they come up with. You'll get more ideas than if you had the same group. Same like a group of white middle-aged men or whatever. You make the group diversified. You get a lot of different ideas. You get a lot better ideas. You come up with better solutions.
It's almost like our cultures have taught us or groomed us to think all a certain way. So when you diversify all the cultures, you get all these different people who've been brought up with different thinking strategies.
Yeah.
And ways of looking at life.
Yeah, it's like at a business or like a corporation, and you have your president of the company, your CEO, your CFO, your chief financial officer, your chief marketing officer. You have different, presidents and vice presidents of supply chain, different things. And you just had a finance guy, number accounting, number of company is going to fail. And so I think, in any organization, whether it be religious or corporate, it needs a diversity to have different minds, different thoughts, different things like you're saying to be successful.
Yep, I think so, yeah.
So then colorblind obviously can be a dangerous thing. What's the difference between that and color brave?
I think color brave is in a sense where you don't have just one group of people, in a sense, that feel that they can do anything. In essence, you have all kinds of races, and namely for the little kids, they can see all these people on the TV and they can grow up thinking, hey, I can do the exact same thing that that person's doing, because their race, their gender, and their age isn't going to be able to stop them. I think that's essentially what it means to be color brave, is to just be able to accept that people have differences, but those differences aren't necessarily a bad thing. They can bring about a lot of positive aspects that you may have overlooked, or you just may have never realized that are out there.
Absolutely. And then also being color brave means you accept that person even though their opinions are different than yours, and you value what they have to say as much as what you have to say. And even though their opinions might be different, but their opinions are just as important as anybody else's. And then also the experiences that they have before that brought them to where they are now, and that kind of thing.
You're afraid of in our lives, we're a little bit scared or nervous about new things, new ideas. And that's, I think, for me, part of being the color brave is being able to, instead of be nervous or scared to have diversity, whether it be religious diversity or ethnic diversity. Instead, we take the opportunities to surround ourselves with that, so that we can become a lot more well-rounded in our thinking and in our views and our opinions, and then embracing those differences. And
then also, somebody else could come up with an idea that we never thought of, but it might be a better idea. Come up with a completely different approach to something, and be open to that.
Absolutely. Because I think colorblind is what ends up dividing people, and whereas color brave is an opportunity to bring cultures and people together.
Yep, absolutely.
So another question I had was, there's a little quote from the ESPN president, John Skipper. I'm a big sports fan, so when I kind of saw that and read that, he answered yes to the question, do we hire the minority or the person who is most qualified? Do you guys feel like that's the right approach?
Yeah, definitely. Though I think it's the person that's most qualified, irregardless of where they came from, what their background is, if they're the most qualified, that's it. They're the most qualified.
Yep, I agree.
I agree with that as well.
So do I.
Yeah.
I feel like the one exception to that possibly would be if they seem very qualified, but if they're supposed to be they're being hired for a team position and they don't seem to really be a team player, or they might not fit in with the, but then again, you could still, I guess, group that into qualified for the position. But I mean, I can potentially see someone who's less qualified or has less experience, but is maybe more of a team player, and that's what they're looking for, I guess.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Somebody who can get along better with the team,
Yeah.
somebody that leads better, or
Yeah.
actually say guides. You say guides better.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of time companies with what I've noticed is when they deal with a lot of team assignments or they just have a very team cultural or team-based cultural environment, a lot of times what they'll do is if the person needs a little bit of help in learning something or his training is not quite there but it's still adequate where he can get by, they'll hire him just provide on the fact that he's able to get along well with everyone else in the company. Because most employers, what they don't want to have happen, which I've seen it several times, is they hire a person that's super qualified, they don't need any help, they know exactly what they're doing, but they can't get along with anyone else because they just can't find a way to either behave or, in a sense, get along with their peers. And I know most employers try to always be able to find employees that kind of fit within that little cultural environment that they have.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of factors that play into this. You know,
Yep.
being qualified, yes, but also be able to get along, have the social skills necessary to get along with your team, you know, not cause problems, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, just setting. So, what would be like the advantages to a bishop of counseling with, you know, your elders quorum present, your religious primary president, and others like that?
I would think for sure that you would be able to meet with them and figure out where they're going, kind of do like a progress and monitor report is what I call it. You kind of see what they're doing, what they've been planning on doing, and how they're going to be able to essentially accomplish it. And when you go and you talk to them, you're in a sense doing a 360 review. They are letting you know of some things that they would like to see you improve on, and you, of course, let them know of things you want to see them improve on. But in a sense, I feel if you're talking to the different people in your ward like that, you can definitely for sure find ways where someone may be having an issue that another person might have the perfect solution for. And so you can definitely be able to go and kind of share information that way and kind of cross-train each other, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Kind of everybody, the diversity thing comes in here. Everybody building on each other's strengths, and those that like need some help in one area can get it from somebody who has that strength in that area, somebody else, and just be able to just work together as a ward family and help each other. We have our ward here is interesting. We have a Spanish part of our ward. We have a lot of members of our ward from Mexico and South America. We have a Samoan family. We have a Thai family. We have quite an interesting mix in our ward here. And then we have a lot of corporate people, and then we have a lot of blue collar in our ward. So it's a pretty wide mix of people. And then the interesting part is our ward covers 6 square miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Where are you located? Utah?
No, we're in Olathe, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. You look at our stake and you look at our ward boundaries, and it's the tiniest one in the whole state.
Aw.
Yeah. And then we have almost 600 members in our ward.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a huge ward for such a small area, which is, yeah, but you bring in that diversity, and definitely applies to our ward. So yeah, we have the young and the older and huge primary and the young men and the young women, and we have a lot of all that. So very diverse.
So final question that I kind of had, you guys would be able to thoughts on this, but what approach would you guys take for diversity, have it as a manager of a business or a corporation?
Okay, can you repeat that? You kind of broke up.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that.
Same question. Yeah.
Today is horrible. I apologize for time. Would you guys take to incorporate diversity as a manager?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just running the question over in my head. Go ahead.
Okay. What ways would you have to what way would use to incorporate diversity in a workplace? Is that what your question was?
Yeah. If you were a manager, specifically, whether a big corporation or a small, family-owned business, as a manager.
Well, I'm not sure how good of an idea this is, but I would definitely try and hold at least a monthly meeting with all of my employees, especially if it's a very small business. I would try and figure out what are some of the things that they enjoy seeing or enjoy doing at the workplace, and then what they might feel we could do differently to improve on some of those processes. I know a lot of people, when they come from the different backgrounds, they have a lot of different experiences, and some of their experiences can definitely be used in the workplace, especially if it's like a little family-owned business. We could figure out, for instance, on, say we just sell pet supplies, we could find out how different families view pets and be able to find a way that we can market some of our products to the different people that we're not currently reaching. So that would certainly be one thing, I guess. Not
No,
sure
that's
if that's
great.
the best idea.
No, that's a great answer. I mean, you're developing your strategy to not only help your customers, but also have your employees in on it too, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. I grew up in Twin Falls, Idaho, and I worked in a little mom and pop grocery store, and we had everybody in there. We had the produce clerk was deaf, and he was a funny guy. And then the meat manager was also the boss, so he did the meat and was the owner of the business. And then we had a guy that returned from a mission in Mexico, and then we had young girls, seniors in high school working there, and then it was a pretty wild, and then we had a pretty wide clientele as well. So I see what you're saying. Sorry, I don't mean to dominate.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, no.
No, I love that as well, because I talked about, I do summer sales, and within that group we had kids that were right out of high school. We had those that hadn't served missions. We had those that were married, several that were single, some that were Hispanic, some that were white. We had some that had done car sales, some that had done alarm systems, some that had done, pest control, some that, and so that was one of the things. I would do meetings just to get opinions. Company does incentives every month, $4,000 to incentivize the sales reps, and really cool one month, especially July, just to see what activities or what competition between the salesmen would biggest motivation for all of them. And myself, I had my own ideas. Some other guys, want some crazy experiences in New York because I was in Philadelphia. Some guys want little prizes. Some guys wanted cash, different things. And it was a cool experience of pitching. The entire group of 17 of us, of doing car battles, and each car group would have 2 or 3 salesmen against all these other. And that month of July, almost 400, or not 400, I think it was 307 sales that summer.
Oh, wow.
A big group of different guys were able to come on decision, but they heard each other out. They heard. So anyway, long story short, it was just. Long story short.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said it sounds like a good example of you guys drawing on each other's strengths and using them together to build your team better.
Yeah, it was one of the better months.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, when you asked for different ideas on incentives, I bet you had as many ideas as there were people.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, that's like when all my kids. I've got six daughters. When I have all of them here, you ask them what they want. There's 6 different ideas.
Yep.
Nobody can agree on anything.
I would be afraid to ask 6 daughters what they wanted.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's why I let my wife do it. So it's fun though.
Well, that kind of wraps it up for questions that I had, or as topics of discussion. I guess doohickey would be the last thing for tonight, just to kind of talk about, hash out.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
So I've gotten emails. I've put up my part together, and then I've got James, your part, as well as I want to say from you, Samantha, as well.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Thank you, guys. So if Alex and Aaron, if you guys could get your parts to me by Friday,
Yeah.
then I'll be able to make it all flow together and get it submitted.
Sweet. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You guys, so Samantha, James, you guys did an awesome job. So
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you guys did great. So it'll be easy to make it all flow and look nice and professional and good and clean. So
Okay. You probably want to put this all in the same font, though, huh?
yeah, and that'll be easy. Just putting all
That's
the
easy.
font, the Times New Roman, all that stuff together.
Okay. Sounds good.
But
All right.
yeah, so we'll I guess see each other next Wednesday.
Okay.
Hold up.
One thing, though, before we go, the group leader for next week was Levi. So we need somebody that will take his place. I'd do it, but I'm the week after that.
I would be willing to take his week 14 slot.
Okay. I can put you in there.
I would do next week, but I'll just be getting back from a trip, and I'll have the prep work done, but I'm not sure I'll be ready to be the group leader at that point.
Okay. Well, I'll put you down for the 14th week.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it 3 times, as long as we don't have to write 3 papers. If it's
You
just
don't, yeah. Sister Johnson's already told us that you don't have to write for the 3rd one.
yeah, so it doesn't bother me to be a group lead.
Okay. And what I can do, we need one more for next week.
I guess I can do it.
You want to do it, Samantha? Okay. I'll put you in there.
You rock, Samantha.
Yes, thank you.
And then for next week, we'll be meeting 8:30 Mountain Time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This,
Okay.
this works for me as long as it's working for everybody else too.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay.
I don't have any problems with it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, I guess next week we start working on the next paper.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Words, you guys have a great evening.
Yeah,
You
talk
too.
to you next week.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You as
Bye.
well. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.